Season 11 of the GT3 League hosted by UKSimRacing as Relive leads us down towards turn number 1. Everyone banding on the brakes already, 4 wide in the rear of your picture. It's going to get very crowded on the brake in there. It looks like we do have Reece Saunders banding side by side with Peter Cox, but they've made the way out to the open hairpin and up towards turn number 3. Everyone emerges unscathed in the top 20. Parker Hamilton is now, Stephen Parker Hamilton I should say, up the inside there, Neil Smith, and it's all gone very, very tragic there for Parker Hamilton as Neil Smith regains the place, albeit I'm not quite sure what triggered off that. For me, I'm speaking to get it right, that's going to be Ryan Miles, who goes up the inside but looks on the brakes then. That's let the ABS carry the car forward. A bit too much speed, and the overspeed there for the ProTech Motorsport driver just catching him out. But runs towards Brandon Hay, making his way along, but he's not in the tow. And well, Matt Strand right now is going to get the distant tow of what is Chris Constable. And I wonder if Hay's actually burning the penalty here. It was one going into now the next few minutes of this race. Wyborn puts in the middle road, Smith on the inside. Smith going all in, he takes one, he takes two. Just about gets the car stopped in time. And Neil Smith there with a brilliant piece of manoeuvring with Kokorin takes the lead in the AM class. Lifting off there well before the braking zone. We were listening to see whether Sherwood was doing quite a bit of fuel saving on the run down to lift off the throttle in top gear. But they come down towards Dunlop corner this time. Newman not quite close enough there, but Davis is going to go wide. He's going to carry the speed back onto the circuit with the runoff there. But I think Newman right now will be wary of the fact that Davis has got down his tyres with Anthony into the pit lane here. The Symphony driver from Wales, and he's making way, as is Ryan Moles. So they've decided to go early again, but we're only seeing a limited number of pit stops at the moment. I think a lot of drivers very hesitant to make pit stops until they see a big swave. It's almost a, I'll go into the pits if you go into the pits. It's a bit of a mind game situation. It does look as though for the drivers they're going to be rudely interrupted almost by Nathan Scott there, who pokes his nose in on the inside of Smith and says, do you mind if you just let me through? And I think Smith is trying to get the message through to him. No, I do not want you coming through. As Scott looks at the move, Smith covers him off, and this is going to buy Wyborn a little bit of breathing room. Plays out. We look here to Mark Davison, P90 Elite class versus Thomas Aspal as he looks at the move as Aspal into turn number 1. Can't quite find in the Ferrari driver, they're just not with enough of the legs of the V8 engine. Wyborn versus Smith, they made the way through. Nathan Scott's going to make it 3 wide, albeit he's a long way back, and as they head on to the anchors this time, Smith goes early. And as they do, Wyborn takes natural line. Meanwhile, Scott says, with plenty of space in the inside, I'll take one. And now can he get 2 as well? Can Scott do what he needs to do? As Smith is trying to come back, makes it with 3 wide into turn number 3. And in the end, Scott's going to go all the way around the outside to hold the line. And he clears with Smith, but the forward driver of Smith making his way up towards turn number 13, really fighting at the steering wheel here to get the car to push through turn 13, the next bend. And now up the hill he goes, but as he does, you can see here Wyborn struggling with the car, goes over the deep there, the car not wanting to point to the corner. Meanwhile, Wyborn versus Smith continues here in the battle for the AM lead. It's going to be Smith on the inside into 11, but after next they go, elbows out between the two of them. Well, it's going to be a bit bitter now as they make their way through the left-hander, and Wyborn holds on, and well, I think there we could be starting to see a little bit of a rivalry for the season in the AM class. In the back of the grid, as they make their way on down, it's going to be a potential move here from Hartley. Can't quite find it, however, as meanwhile, it's Satinda Dienza who looks to go around the outside. His fellow TE Simsport driver, albeit backs it off there, and oh, goodness me, Simon Hartley with contact with Rob Armstrong. I think 2 drivers trying to share the same tile of space, and in the end, Simon Hartley coming off the worst for it into the pit lane. A big moment here in the elite class battle for the win of the race. It is Arera Rosev and also Sam Sherwood, and Sherwood has closed up massively under pit entry. Well, and we do see with Lovitt charging on down, Rosev made his way out the pit lane, and as he does, Sam Sherwood immediately behind. We look to the blimp camera here. Where is Lovitt? That's the question. Well, there's Sherwood versus Rosev, and then Lovitt's just behind. Lovitt's not been able to make the undercut work. The gap has opened up to 1.3 seconds. It was worth a shot, but I think in the end, leading track position was key, and Eric Rosev continues to theoretically hold the lead of this race, presuming, of course, that every driver in front who's yet to pit does not come out ahead. John Doble's come alive since the pit stop as he looks to get the move done there versus Smith into turn 3. He gets ahead, and John Doble right now, well, I'm not quite sure where this pace has come from. I can tell you one thing, the TE Simsport driver may have just been saving it up on the first stint and looking to see where Smith and what was Wyborn were to one another, as Wyborn still having some connectivity issues, but Smith trying to come back here at Doble as they make the way into turn number 6 through the left-hander, and as they make the way onwards towards turn at number 10. Well, this battle right now has gone the way of Doble, and he's taking the inside approach, but then again Brockner will have the brakes on the Porsche as they make the way under retardation now into turn number one. Lever goes all in. Brockner says, I can do it too. Goes a bit deeper. But the problem with that is he cost himself the exit. And Lever's going to get the power down much earlier here as they make the way out to the corner and gets the move done. He's there and he's not there. And this must be a little bit challenging for Doble right now to gather where his rival is going to be under braking into turn number one. But when you see the driver initially go in a position to normally take a shot there, and there Wyborn goes overly deep, and this could be for the lead of the AM class as Doble takes the King of two. We're not quite sure where Wyborn is at the moment. He may re-materialise, or is that Wyborn's race done and dusted? On Doble, wherever the pace was for Doble in qualifying, it's absolutely come alive in the race here. But meanwhile, Smith now's got Casper Brockner behind him. Brockner wants to get through because of Kirkland as they come through turn number 11. But Smith once again having to fight. There's a little bit of a wobble there from Casper Brockner. Those rear tyres, I think, starting to let go. And meanwhile, Ryan Mole sneaks up the inside there. All the way is Chris Constable and says, okay, right, I can see Science now. I'm going to Hunter. Constable trying to come back here. Mole's defense. Constable's going to have to switch back to the outside now. So the elite drivers here eager to carve their way through, but the pro drives just as eager to say, no, you don't. And Science anti-return is going to look remove here versus the Tunstead as they go into their pin, and their Tunstead goes a little bit deep. But I think the UKSimRacing driver lets the place go gradually. And now for what will be Ryan Moles flashes lights there to say to Tunstead, look, just let me go. I want to sign Anthony as they make their way to turn number 3, but the message doesn't get through. Tunstead chooses not to listen to it. You've also got behind him Aaron Beaver in the mix here, and effectively we have got what is a four-way fight for P3 in the pro class that's building up to a crescendo. Very smooth driving, to be fair, and I think looking to see where things go wrong as Moles very tying up the inside there of what's Casper Tunstead through Nets band. And I think Moles has got the move done, albeit he's had to be a little bit forceful with it. And meanwhile, we have had a change of position up towards the front of the field. It's happened off camera. Team Year One's Reece Saunders has found his way past Damien Lobbit. Now Smith is having to deal with Kirkland. Chris Kirkland there in the pro class looking for a move around the outside. Smith firmly shuts the door and says no. Just leave me alone and let me focus on chasing down Wyborn. Albeit I think right now Kirkland very eager to get on through, and there's contact on the rear of Smith's car. Kirkland there taking a little bit of an opportune move up the inside, and well, Smith tries to get the car off the road and clear the road space for everyone. That is going to be an absolutely frustrating moment for Neil Smith, who looks to be of course for a podium, but in the end it's all in tatters. Back to Casper Tunstead, the Dane here, trying to put on a colossal effort to hold on to the final spot of the pro podium, with Chris Constable and also Daniel Pays and Aaron Beaver behind, as this long pack of 4 cars, the quartet, all slide their way in towards turn number 3 once again today. But Tunstead right now really putting up the stoic defence as they make the way out to turn number 6 in towards 10. Rosef right now has got the gap back up to 4 tenths as they come down. Sherwood falling back a little bit. I think this may be the calm before the storm, as Sherwood has been looking threatening all day as they make their way through the quarterback. So a really good run there. Sparks right through the Rosef's car. Into the move they go, and as they go into turn 11, Sherwood sends it from far back and finds it. I don't think Rosef knew it was coming, but right now surely he's going to respond as they make the way up towards turn number 13. Sherwood slides. The tyres there are too hot as they make the way through 13 to 14. It's running to Panasonic corner, and as they do, well, both drivers opt to take their preferred line. Sherwood goes very defensive. Rosef goes to the long line to take the maximum possible speed onto the start-finish straight. It's going to be a drag race all the way to the line. 2.5 tenths. Sherwood pulls to the middle of the road, gets the toe broken briefly. He's still got another second or two to the line, but I think he's going to do it, and Sam Sherwood will take the checkered flag in the first race of the season with a sensational move at the finish ahead of Eric Rose at P2, Reece Saunders P4, P3 I should say, Damien Lobbit P4, Henry Listad P5, Aaron McGregor comes on through to take the pro win by 20 seconds in here. My goodness, that is an achievement and a half. But John Doble comes out the final corner, and I'm not going to quite believe it, ladies and gentlemen, much like in Detroit, that pace has come alive in the second half of the race, and he's going to do it for TT Simsport Kimmy. He charges the checkered flag. The TT Simsport garage is going absolutely crazy right now, and John Doble takes the first and win of the season ahead of Jack Wyborn P2, who crosses the line, and then it will be Stein Orsani who rounds off the AM podium there for Racing Lab Esports AM2. After 45 minutes of racing, what's been an absolutely fascinating round 1 of 9 in the UKSimRacing GT3 League Season 11, as brought to you on the Premier Sim Racing platform iRacing, only available on PC. Sam Sherwood taking the overall win for ProTech Motorsport, 1.5 tenths clear of Eric Rosef for Racing Lab Esports AM. The Casper Tunstead, who put an absolute valiant effort into holding to P15, ahead of Chris Constable, Daniel Pays and Aaron Beaver, and with that taking up the pro podium at P3 position, and therefore the pro podium made up of McGregor, Sharples and also at Tunstead. 20 with C in P25 there, John Doe taking the AM class win for TT Sim Sport Kimmy, with an absolutely fantastic drive there to finish 3 seconds clear at Jack Wyborn at the finish, with the TPA Racing driver's connection being uncertain. But one thing that was certain was his pace here today, and holding onto the second spot of the podium, and then Steiner Sani for Racing Lab Esports AM2, completing the AM podium of Doble, Wyborn and Sani by taking P3 in class. And if you ever want to be on the grid for any one of our series, you do need to be part of the Discord. It's a mandatory rule. But more importantly, for you as a consumer, if you're ever looking to make a purchase through one of our affiliates, there are a number of discount codes from our affiliates only available on our Discord. And if you use one of those codes as part of your purchase, you get a discount, which is absolutely brilliant for you as a consumer. And we at UKSimRacing win already the community win, because every purchase made using the affiliate code ends up leading to a kickback to us. And we, as a non-profit organisation, will put all of that money we make from affiliate purchases back into the community to fund future series, including future editions of the GT3 League, also the Porsche Cup, and plenty more planned for 2023.